Good afternoon, everybody. Good afternoon. There we go. I'm very grateful to be here. Let me acknowledge the folks who are with us. Israel Rocha, CEO of Cook County Health. Ileana Mora, who's Chief Administrative Officer, Ambulatory Services of Cook County Health. Crystal Winston, who's Mobile Vaccine Site Manager for Cook County Health. Dr. Kiran Joshi, who's our Senior Medical Officer and co-lead of the Cook County Department of Public Health. Latrice Moore, who's Assistant Administrator. Nancy Rivera, Regional Director of Ambulatory Services. And Marisol Nunez, who's Clinic Manager. Did I forget anyone, Israel?
No.
Okay. All right, this is a great day. Think about how far we've come since December 2020. That context makes this moment really special. 1 million COVID vaccines have been administered by Cook County Health. 1 million. I want to begin by thanking Cook County Health CEO Israel Rocha for his leadership in helping us get to this point, and thank also our staff at Cook County Health for their tireless work. On behalf of the residents of Cook County, we're grateful for everything you and the Cook County Department of Public Health have done to keep our county safe. I also must acknowledge Governor Pritzker, the state of Illinois, and the Illinois National Guard, who helped us staff our mass vaccination sites early on in the pandemic. Those sites were critical in getting the maximum number of doses into arms quickly and efficiently as possible in the early months of the pandemic. I also want to thank the Cook County Bureau of Asset Management for their work in securing locations for our mass vaccination sites. Vaccine administration was a key component of Cook County's comprehensive COVID-19 response. Most important, I want to thank each and every person who has decided to protect herself or himself and those around them from this deadly virus by taking the shot and getting boosted. Let's take a moment and go back to the beginning. In December of 2020, we gathered to discuss the initial rollout of the COVID-19 vaccine. At that time, the supply was limited, and I urged patience. Actually, we had an initial vaccination at Rocha Hospital, right?
Yeah.
One of our nurses got the first shot. At that time, the vaccine supply was limited, as I said, and I urged patience. But we promised every resident who wanted a vaccine would be able to get one, and that special attention would be given to be sure that we reached our most vulnerable residents. I'm very proud to say that we fulfilled that promise. Reaching this milestone is a testament to the faith and trust residents have in Cook County Health and in science more broadly. Even as we celebrate 1 million doses, there's still work to be done. I hope those watching today who have not been vaccinated or who have not gotten their booster will do so. And to those who got vaccinated at one of Cook County sites or elsewhere, thank you for doing your part to protect our communities during this pandemic. Now, I'd like to ask Israel Rocha, CEO of Cook County Health, to speak next. We'll be joined shortly by Commissioner Brandon Johnson, and when he arrives, we will bring him to the podium. But in the interval, if you would, CEO Rocha, introduce the next speaker. Okay?
Absolutely.
All right, thank you.
Good afternoon, everybody, and good afternoon. I can say that I'm probably in my entire career, today is probably one of the proudest moments to be here to celebrate today's extraordinary milestone. And it's a milestone that really is without equivalent in our time probably as a community or citizenry or collectiveness, to sit here and having gone from a place where we had no ability to treat COVID when this started to a place where we are today, where we were able to celebrate over 1 million doses being given to our community, to our residents, and to all individuals who wanted to be able to get vaccinated, to take the step to protect them and their family. Today would not be possible without the steadfast leadership of President Preckwinkle, the Cook County Board, the Cook County Health's Board of Directors, and our partners at the state of Illinois and the National Guard who helped us during the early vaccination efforts. I must also extend our heartfelt and immeasurable thanks to the entire Cook County Health team who poured countless hours, their hearts, time away from their families to the mission of getting our communities vaccinated. It was this group who turned empty big box stores into efficient mass vaccination centers that set within a period of weeks records for the number of people they were vaccinating in a single day. They went to churches, they went to baseball games, they went to festivals. Pretty much they went anywhere you had more than 2 or 3 people and were offering vaccines to anyone who wanted them. When our sites were overwhelmed with people wanting to get vaccinated, and to the periods when demand slowed to a trickle, and then back up again when new boosters were made available. Together as one community, not just our health system, but everybody, all our communities, our community support groups, our advocates, and everybody who was trying to make a difference to bring an end to COVID-19, we have been able to celebrate today that our community has substantially increased protection against this virus. And even though we know that we have seen tides come and go between the different levels of infection, we know that the COVID vaccines have made a difference. The number that is consistent is that the number of hospitalizations and mortalities have dramatically decreased as we have been able to have more members of our community receive their shot and get vaccinated. Every syringe, every dose, our community was there, you were there, and we thank you. Because protecting our community and making sure that we all have protection is an effort that we must all work together. We are honored by the trust that our community put in our team to help make today possible. I still remember December 11th, 2020, as the president said, we were there together, the president and I, and it was one of my first days here at Cook County Health. And we administered our first dose to Tracy, one of our nurses, a registered nurse in our emergency department, who had been at the front of the pandemic. Tracy and her colleagues, from our doctors to our techs to our environmental services, to everyone in between, worked day and night to make sure that we were being able to help our individuals who needed help in face of the pandemic. But that day was a little bit different. I remember that day there was so much joy in the air, the day when we were starting to give our first vaccines. There was almost a sense of palpable relief. You could see people for the first time start to smile and start to get excited about what was happening. And then Tracy got her shot. And I remember going over to Tracy, and as we're all curious, and I asked her, so what was it like? And you really ask, did it hurt? Did your arm hurt? And that was what I was expecting to hear. And the words that I heard back were surprising and will be with me always. I said, what was that like? And she said, I made it. I survived. I knew in that moment that we wanted to help everybody have that sense of relief, that they too could survive the COVID terror that we were all going through. And that's what it was, a sense of overwhelming panic about what would happen next. And we all wanted security and relief to make that point go away and move forward. Tracy's words echoed in my mind. And I knew that we needed to have everyone to get a sense of relief and assistance. We needed to help everyone get vaccinated as quickly as possible, as time was exposure. To address this need, the Cook County government, Cook County Health, and the Cook County Department of Public Health partnered with the state of Illinois and the National Guard to open the first mass vaccination sites in the nation across our county. These life-saving sites were not just for our patients, but for everyone who wanted to get protected against the worst of COVID-19. In all, we opened 6 mass vaccination sites across Cook County. We also supplied all of our clinics with vaccine, knowing that many people would need time and a conversation with their doctor to feel comfortable before getting vaccinated. As time went on, we worked to reduce barriers. We welcomed walk-ins. We extended hours to nights and weekends. We offered incentives to make taking time off work more feasible, and we hosted hyper-local events to make sure that we were going to where our patients and those in need were. Today, we're here to celebrate our 1 millionth dose. It is truly amazing. We are excited. It has happened. When we first set out in this journey, our goal was always to reach today, to be able to give 1 million vaccines in our effort to help our county get that sense of relief that Tracy had, to say that they made it, that they survived, that they had the protection that they needed. Cook County Health is among the first health systems in the country to accomplish this level of success in vaccinating their communities. This achievement was made possible by the hard work of our team, our partners, the county, and all our organization who place their trust in us, and most importantly, is made possible by the residents who we serve, by Cook County coming together, trusting in science and making the decision to be safer. The milestone represents lives saved, families kept whole, and turning the tide of the COVID-19 pandemic. But our work is not over. Our efforts to make vaccines accessible to everyone continue in full steam. Our 2 hospitals and all of our community sites remain open and available for individuals who want to get vaccinated. And if you have not been vaccinated, we hope and choose that you do. We will never stop until everyone who wants this critical protection against COVID-19 has received it. If you have not gotten your vaccine or your booster, the doors are open, as we said. Join your friends and neighbors. Join the over 1 million people who have come to Cook County Health to protect themselves and their families. If you need assistance in locating how to get vaccinated, visit myshotcookcounty.com to find a Cook County Health vaccination location near you. A few words in Spanish. Gracias a todos para estar aquí hoy para celebrar nuestra millón dos de la vacuna contra COVID. Este evento es tan emocionante y no sería posible sin el apoyo del presidente Preckwinkle, la Junta del Condado y la Junta Directiva de Salud del Condado de Cook. Nosotros, socios con el Estado de Illinois y la Guardia Nacional, que ayudaron mucho en nuestros esfuerzos de vacunación. También debo expresar mi más sincero agradecimiento a todo nuestro equipo de la salud de Cook County, que dedicó incontables horas y su corazón a nuestra misión de vacunar a nuestra más de 1 millón de dosis contra COVID. El 11 de diciembre y 2020, durante mi primer mes aquí en Cook County, cuando abrimos nuestra primera dosis de la vacuna contra COVID-19 a Tracy, una enfermera de la sala de emergencia que había estado al frente de la pandemia. Tracy y sus colegas trabajaron día y noche a toda marcha contra COVID-19. Pero ese día, cuando administramos las primeras vacunas contra el COVID-19, fue un día diferente. Hubo una sesión alivio y detrás de las máscaras se podía ver sonrisas y esperanza. Después de que Tracy recibió su vacuna, simplemente ella me dijo, le pregunté, ¿cómo se sintió? Y ella me dijo, lo logré, sobreviví. Nunca olvidé ese comentario. De ese momento, las palabras de Tracy resonaron en mi mente. Sabíamos que necesitamos ayudar a todos lo más rápido posible y sabíamos que el tiempo era nuestro obscuro. En total, abrimos 6 sitios de vacunación a gran escala a través del condado de Cook. Les dimos vacunas a todos nuestros centros de salud, sabiendo que muchas personas necesitaban tiempo y conversación con su doctor antes de sentirse cómodos para vacunarse. Con el paso del tiempo, trabajamos para reducir las barreras a la vacunación, le dimos la bienvenida a los pacientes sin cita, extendimos el horario para las noches y los fines de semana, ofrecimos incentivos para tomar tiempo libre del trabajo más fácil y organizamos eventos de vacunación a nuestras comunidades. Hoy estamos aquí celebrando nuestra millón dos. Esto es realmente hermoso. Pero nuestro trabajo no ha terminado. Nuestros esfuerzos para hacer las vacunas accesibles para todos continúan. No podemos hacer esto sin su apoyo. Si no ha recibido la vacuna o refuerzo, nuestras puertas están abiertas y hoy es el día para ayudar a usted y sus familias. Por favor, visiten myshotcookcounty.com para encontrar un centro de vacunación de Cook County Health y hacer su cita a hoy. Muchas gracias para todos en este camino que hemos ido juntos para llegar a hoy, de tener un día para celebrar 1,000,000 de vacunaciones. Muchas gracias. Thank you to everybody. Thank you so much. And I am very, very happy to bring forward Commissioner Brandon Johnson.
Good afternoon. I certainly hope that the person who received the 1,000,000th shot was not waiting on me, and I do apologize if they were. And since I am late, I will try to keep my comments brief. So thank you, Madam President, for your leadership. By the way, my name is Brandon Johnson, Cook County Commissioner of the 1st District, proudly serving the west side of Chicago and the western suburbs. To President Preckwinkle and her leadership, to Israel, and of course our doctors at the Public Health Department, Dr. Rubin and Dr. Joshi. And really, I'm grateful and thankful for all of the folks who participated in making this moment possible. To our local leaders, whether it's a village trustee or a village mayor or a community leader or just a cousin, a grandmother, a dad who saw the importance of getting vaccinated. You know, as a public school teacher, you know, you set forth objectives and outcomes, and you want to make sure that the thing that we're trying to do, that we actually accomplish it. And my biggest takeaway from this moment is that we didn't allow the odds to define who we are as people. We worked to defy and to beat the odds. It's proof that if we work together, government and community organizations, that we can beat the odds. And so, again, congratulations to all that participated in making this moment possible. We are certainly not completely out the clear, so let's not stop. Let's continue to move forward so that we can have a more healthy, prosperous Cook County. Thank you. And with that, I am going to introduce the Chief Administrative Officer of the Ambulatory Services of Cook County. I'm going to say Ms. Mora. Is that okay?
Yes.
All right.
All right. We reached our 1,000,000th dose. I think that's a cause for a celebration. Never did we imagine that we would be reaching and celebrating our 1,000,000th dose. As President Preckwinkle and our CEO Israel Rocha said, the vaccine came out in December. Thanks to the support of President Preckwinkle and our governor, before we knew it, we got a call saying, you have X number of days to stand up these sites. And so our commitment from our staff, the commitment from the Cook County Board, the commitment from the Cook County Bureau of Asset Management, everybody came together. And as the commissioner said, villages came together, community groups came together, and everyone that really was wanting to get a shot absolutely showed up in that first wave. We never imagined that we would be so busy, that we would be the biggest concert in the universe to sell out tickets for vaccination appointments. I will take that with me forever. But most of all, it has been a great honor to lead, and with a great team, to lead the vaccination program for the county, to reach the 1,000,000th dose, and we will continue our efforts. We have not given up, because we know that many out there are still thinking or considering the vaccine. We are here for you. We are open. Our doors are open for your first shot, for your second shot, for your booster, your second booster, whatever it may be. And we know that we are able to do so right here in the communities that we serve in a compassionate and culturally competent way. So thank you to all of those who made this possible, and we will continue our commitment and our service to the community. Thank you. And with that, I will pass that over to Crystal Winston, who led our mobile vaccination teams.
All right, Crystal.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you, President Preckwinkle, Mr. Rocha and Ms. Mora, for allowing me to come up here very briefly and talk about our mobile team, our team equity team. I am Crystal Winston. I lead this team on behalf of who is led by Dr. Nimi Rajagopal. And we are a mobile site team that started with equity pods that were in 36 municipalities that we identified had lower vaccination rates. And once those equity pods closed, we took our team on the road. And we have now massed maybe 42,000 combined vaccinations between the equity pods and the mobile teams. And we're very excited about that. And we're still going. And so we hear from the community all the time. They're very excited that Cook County Health is in the community helping to give vaccinations. They're like, wow, you're from Cook County Health? And I'm like, yeah, that's what we do. We're giving out vaccinations in a culturally competent way, in a safe way, in a way that's bringing it to you, and now taking away the barrier of access. And that's what we want to do. We're coming to places that are familiar, from one shot at a storefront church to 350 people at a school in an ice storm. We're going to be there. Our whole team will be there, and because for us, every single shot counts. And so I will briefly talk about that and say that we want everyone to know that we're still out there. We're still giving out vaccinations. And if you are still hesitant, it's a toolkit. Inside of your toolkit is your mask, it is COVID testing, and it's vaccinations. And you know that it's taking care of yourself, it's taking care of your family, and at large, taking care of the community. And that's what we stand for. And so that's what Team Equity stands for. And I thank you for letting me talk briefly about that right now.